Politicians know that invoking Jesus helps them win votes, and they do it because it works. But what happens when
speaker? Okay, let's see. Does it work?
Yeah, can you hear me? So,
Okay.
so Jessica, I'd like to start by, why don't you share your position? What do you think? What is your problem with the Wilsons, or with the beliefs that any of his beliefs that he holds? Generally, just in a general sense.
Okay, so why I actually started getting active in this is
No.
oh,
Hold
I'm
on.
sorry. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. Actually, it'll be better. Why don't you tell me what you believe? What are what are your beliefs in general?
Yeah, that might make it a lot easier, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm not political anymore. I'm a Christian. I'm a creationist.
Okay.
I'm a Protestant, non-denominational. I am conservative my whole life. And I used to be patriarchal in my ideas. Now I'm more complementarian. So yeah, you shouldn't paint me as just a general feminist, because that'll waste a lot of time. But according to the new right, I think I am technically a feminist, so I'm fine with that. Now, you called me a degenerate, and I want to know from you why you'd imagine, or why you would just assume that.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to clarify. When I say degenerate, so generally people have this idea of degeneracy. They always link that to some sort of sexual degeneracy. So that's not what I mean. When I say degeneracy, I mean all sorts of degeneracy. It could be in the ideological sense, in the social, societal sense. Do you understand?
Yes, but why would you assume I'm a degenerate?
Okay. First of all, I'll tell you what I believe. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. So the thing is, if you were about to compare my position generally with Andrew Wilson's positions, yeah, I agree with.
Oh, you're roboting a little bit.
A general overview from my personal purview. I believe in. I'm not a member of the Orthodox Church, but I've been looking into. Yeah, I've been looking into the Orthodoxy for you can say about an year now. I do understand the basics, and I've been studying a wide array of theologies or different denominations, all these concepts. So the thing is, so what I believe personally, I do believe that Orthodox Church, it is the true church, and it is the original church that was established by the apostles, which were chosen by Jesus Christ himself. And then from that being the base, you could say, of the starting point of my worldview, of my paradigm, yeah, I'd consider myself a traditional conservative.
I don't know if were you done talking, or because I can't hear you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you in case you were still talking, but I couldn't hear you. Okay. So
No.
is that what you'd like to discuss today? Is my basically, I've been making a lot of claims about
like
how orthodoxy contradicts the Bible.
I'd like to,
go ahead.
No. That's the first of all. I'd like to make this clear that, as I told you, I'm not a member of the Orthodox Church. I'm just an inquirer.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what. Yeah. So, but I do agree with their position. Okay, their biblical positions, their theological positions. I do believe that is the right way. That is the only way to. That was the original religion. That is the true Christianity.
Okay, so if I were going to ask you why,
now,
why?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. I can elaborate. The thing is, first of all, I'd like to get to the social side. I'd like to get that done, that dealt with first. Then we can dive into the religious aspects later. So what I'd like to start with is what I believe is, now I'm going to extend an olive branch, because I do understand that most of the education systems or the media, what it pushes, and modernity, the thing is, most people are not taught how to think correctly. So what I believe is, most of the population thinks incorrectly. Okay, they don't know the right way to think, to assess information. Okay, that's what I believe. Now, I'd say, I'd like to think that I was a bit fortunate in that manner, because I was exposed to basic philosophy, or how logic works, pretty early on in my late teens, you could say. So I was the only aspect I was missing was actually I was convinced by Andrew Wilson about a year ago towards any sort of serious religiosity. Okay. So what I'd like to start with is your worldview paradigm. Why I think your worldview leads to degeneracy. Why it's a degenerate worldview. Okay.
I would love to get into that, but Partik, though, here's the thing, though. I do request, while we go into it, and I want to give you plenty of time to say a full thought, but I don't want to get lost in the weeds. So I would rather not have. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah, so I'd like to have more of a conversation as well. So I'm fine with going into that.
Yes.
But just don't get upset if I say, well, hold on, I have a contention with that point. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, you go ahead.
No problem. In case you don't understand anything I say, you can stop me and ask me again. Okay, I'll elaborate. That's not a problem.
But I also want to place, if I have a contention with a point, I want to be able to raise that contention. Okay.
Sure,
okay.
No problem.
I mean, you're coming at me saying my worldview, and I got to tell you, I'm a little. At me a couple times now with the idea you think you know who I am.
I'm going to extend an olive branch, because I do understand that most of the education systems or the media, what it pushes, and modernity, the thing is, most people are not taught how to think correctly. So what I believe is, most of I was in my late teens. You could just.
Would love to get into that, but Partik, though, here's the thing, though. I do request, while we go into it, and I want to give you plenty of time to say a full thought, but I don't want to get lost in the weeds. So I would rather not have. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah, so I'd like to have more of a conversation as well. So I'm fine with going into that.
Yes.
But just don't get upset if I say, well, hold on, I have a contention with that point. Okay. Okay. Okay, you go ahead.
No problem. In case you don't understand anything I say, you can stop me and ask me again. Okay, I'll elaborate. That's not a problem.
But I also want to place, if I have a contention with a point, I want to be able to raise that contention. Okay.
Sure,
okay.
No problem.
I mean, you're coming at me saying my worldview, and I got to tell you, I'm a little wondering here, because you say that you're a free thinker, you learned how to free thought, but you've come at me a couple times now with the idea you think you know who I am. So I have a feeling I'm going to have some contentions, and I'd like for us to have an actual conversation when we get there. But you go ahead.
So first of all, I'd like you to understand when I say I have a contention, I do not have a contention with you personally. I don't know you, and that's not what I'm talking about. When I say I have a contention with your worldview and your ideas. Okay, what are you putting out into the media or society or any other way you want to put it? That's what I'm talking about.
No, I know, but I'm saying
so
those.
I have a serious contention
Okay.
with your ideas. I think the foundation, the very foundation and the pillar of your worldview is built on false beliefs on a house of cards. Now let me get to why. Now I believe you have a solid belief in enlightenment principles, right?
I believe in the Bible, the scriptures. I know the scriptures pretty well. And I think that the scriptures have led to enlightenment concepts, which I would disagree are a bad thing. I definitely think in every, well, hold on a minute, let me also say, with that being said, just like the old system had bad things, the new system also has bad things. But that doesn't mean we couldn't work through it, but go ahead.
Okay. Do you believe in egalitarianism?
I believe the Bible speaks of egalitarianism. Now, that would get more complicated, though, as far as how that's... No, it is more complicated, and I can show you from Scripture why it's more complicated, because while the Bible shows us that egalitarianism is God's ultimate goal, he also understands that we're a flawed, sinful people, so there's still boundaries required in a society structure, in a society or in a church. However, there are also allowances given when maturity is met. These are things we find in the Scriptures. But I also believe in separation of church and state, which the Bible, I could also hang my hat on that too.
Okay, so when I said that we'll get to the religious aspects afterwards.
But you have to understand, well, hold on a minute though, this is important. What you have to understand is everything in my world is based on what God wants. So I can't separate the two. So go ahead.
Okay. I understand that. Now, what I'm asking you is not why you believe that's not my question yet. What I'm asking you is first, I'm starting with what beliefs do you hold? So I'm going to ask you again, do you hold the belief of egalitarianism? I think the answer is yes.
By egalitarianism, what do you mean by that?
I mean equality between the sexes?
Equal as far as like
all men are created equal.
Equal. Okay, so equal under the law, but also that doesn't mean that. What is it called? There's a phrase where it's like equal opportunity, but not equity. Like you get what you can earn. That's what I believe. I believe I believe that if a woman can do a job, she should, but I don't think that we should in any way help them to achieve, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a detriment to society, to DEI and all those. I think that's a detriment to society. I don't believe in that. I don't think it's a balanced way.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you believe in the first few waves of feminism, right? Not the later.
Well, I think on a surface level we could go with that. Although there might be differences here and there. You know what I'm saying? But on a surface level, I could go with that. I don't think I would never call myself a feminist. There are many men in my life that are just amazing. I would never demonize any gender, so I would say I'm more egalitarian than feminist.
That's not what that actually. That is not what I mean by feminism. When I say feminism, even though it might lead to the entailment of hating men in many aspects, when I say feminism, I'm saying the idea of egalitarianism or rejection of patriarchal, the patriarchy.
Yeah, so I think...
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I should be allowed to go down to the bank and open a banking account. I think if my family wants to leave me an inheritance, I should be able to...
You're
What?
you're jumping the
Oh
gun.
no, that was
You're
all part of
jumping the
first
gun.
wave feminism, and I think it's important to remember.
I know that.
Okay,
I know that.
well, what's wrong?
I'm saying you're jumping the gun.
Well, I'm
But,
basing my I'm letting you know why.
I'm only asking. I'm only getting the basics. Okay, I understand. Now, the thing is, you have to understand. First of all, the Enlightenment principles: all men are created equal, or even egalitarianism, or even equality between the sexes. That's the thing is that is a flawed idea from the ground up. From the very foundation, it's a logical impossibility.
I think it's kind of like
Do you
I think it's kind of
understand
like
that?
capitalism. If a person can make it, they should be
No,
able
no,
to.
no.
My
No.
thing, well,
You have to-
my thing is as long as you have the ability to achieve it, you should be able to, without the laws stopping you from doing that.
No. Capitalism is still it is objective reality. It is possible, and it's a reality of we are living in right now in many nations across the globe. What I'm talking about, egalitarianism, from the very ground up, from the very foundation, it's a logical impossibility that can never be achieved.
Okay, why?
Okay, so first of all, the differences between men and women, there are two very distinct, you could say, human beings, a man and a woman. Now, they have different ontological natures. And on top of that, there's a force doctrine that exists that cannot be, that due to the force doctrine, if you're going to say women, and this has only been made possible because of technology. It's just an illusion that's been made possible through technology. And the thing is, because of that force doctrine, true equality between the sexes could never exist. If you have
it's I'm sorry.
so
Let me just say it's equality of I lost it. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, equality of
So
wait. It's
all,
equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome.
No, even the opportunity, that's not even possible by itself. The idea.
Well, I
can be forced.
disagree with you.
It can be forced. No. Thing is, it can be forced upon on a population. That's a different story by other men. It can be forced by other men. But the thing is, between men and women, equality is not even possible. It's a logical impossibility because of the force doctrine and the differences in physiognomy.
Okay, no, I think I got kind of what you were saying here. So let me go ahead and answer back if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I think the problem is with your perception going into this. It's kind of hostile towards women versus my perception going. Hold on. Let me tell you why. Wait, let me tell you why. I let you talk.
My only perception is logic.
Pratik, let me tell you what.
My only perception
But
is
you
logic.
said you're open-minded. You're able to see through things, and you aren't just told what to think. So I'm trying to share with you my perspective, but you're not letting me right now.
No. The thing is, you're going off on a tangent.
No, sir. That is a debate bro tactic. Stop it. Now listen, I'm going to tell you why.
No, it's not a tactic.
Hold on a minute, Pratik. Come on, I let you talk. Let me talk.
No. Listen.
Pratik, this is not your monologue. You got to let me talk too.
It's not a monologue.
Listen, are you scared of what I'm going to say? If you're scared of what I'm going to say, then listen to me and then respond.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because I'll let you go on. I'm not scared of responding to what you say. I'll let you go on for a long time, but it's my turn now. Okay, so here's why, because I've heard that argument before from the far right dudes, right? And it's the idea.
Oh, okay, go on.
Okay, I am. So the idea is that equality could only work if men helped it, and it's like, duh, duh, because men generally love the women in their family, and they like that the women in their family are also have the same opportunities. So that's not like it wouldn't work. Sure, like, on one hand, see, there's different branches this conversation could go to depending upon how contentious she'd be. So let's say that all men were against it, right? No, we don't want the women to be equal, and they were against it. Yeah, it would probably be harder for women then to achieve that if the men were all opposed to it. Sure. However, it's like what. Well, hold on, I'm not done yet. I'll let you go. Well, hold on, a critique. I'm not done yet. So it's like what Paul was saying in the Bible about how, but women is not alone, but women come from man, and man comes.
Don't get there yet.
Critique, you let me speak, or you're being very disrespectful. Now I'm trying to paint you a picture. I'm trying to paint. No. I'm trying to paint you a picture, and you're not listening.
You're going off.
No, I'm telling that right there, debate bro tactic, and I'm not going to allow it. I am sharing. No, I'm sharing with you an important.
If you're not.
Hey, are you scared? Are you scared of what I'm going to say? Because I let you speak for a lot longer. Let me finish.
Listen, okay.
No, you need to calm down, Pratik.
I'm trying to do it.
Pratik, I sat here.
I'm trying to
I sat here. You're not. I'm not on your leash,
to...
Pratik. You came to my channel. I'm hosting it. That I'm respectful.
What are you talking about?
You're trying to control.
What leash? I'm not controlling.
Pratik,
listen, lady.
Stop. I let you talk. No, you're not keeping me doing anything.
I'm trying
Stop.
To keep
That's
you...
the leash I was talking about. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you what I'm saying, and then you can tell me afterwards why it doesn't make sense. Do you understand? I let you go on and talk. Okay. Let me go on and talk, and then if you're not scared, you could tell me why it was wrong. But let me finish my thought.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like Paul said, women is of the man and man is of the woman. We both need each other, right? No man is come into this world except for through a woman birthing him. So there's this concept of we both need each other. Now, other societies have functioned that was way more egalitarian or even more favoring of females. And that was because women had a place of honor. So it doesn't have to be this notion of women could never be equal because the men will not let them. Well, no, women can be equal because a lot of men appreciate them. And so women can have laws. But again, I'm not saying we should prop women up in false places. If a woman can't make the cut, like as a police officer, she shouldn't be able to. And that's all I was trying to say.
Okay. Now, first of all, when I was trying to stop you, the only thing I was trying to do is I was trying to keep the conversation on track.
It was on track, Pratik. Do not disrespect me. I will push back on that. No. I was pointing out a point, and you were trying to tell me not to, and that's not going to fly with me. Now, I let you talk. You will let me talk. That's how it goes in my host, in my space. I will be respectful, but you will be respectful too.
This is... I'm being completely respectful, but the thing is, you've got to stop doing this. This is my space. I came here on a mutual agreement.
Yes, and you will let me speak. I'm not going to let you run rickshawed through the conversation.
I am letting you speak. I'm not.
No, you were trying to keep me in line of the ideas you wanted, and I was going out of those lines.
Yes,
but I'm sorry. That's not how conversations go. I'm allowed to venture out into my imagination to paint an overall picture. If you can't handle that, that's you.
Is it my turn
now?
Well,
are you going to behave?
Now, is it my turn?
Go ahead.
What? Okay. So the thing is, I was trying to keep the conversation sane.
I'm going to tell you what. It'd be better if we move on from that. You're not going to keep me in your little fenced area of where I could venture in my ideas.
No,
you're not fencing in my ideals. Now, if you want to move on to more of the feminist talk, we can. Go ahead.
Now, you're not letting me talk.
It's not nice, is it?
If you're gonna argue with me, the sky isn't blue, the water isn't wet, then that's insanity.
But you're not missing what I'm saying. I never said that. I am. What
listening.
What did I say that said the sky isn't blue?
Okay. What I said was that the equality is not possible. Do you disagree?
You mean equal under the law? Do you mean equal under the law or outcomes?
No. Not under the law. Listen, I said because of the forced doctrine, true equality between men and women is not even possible. Do you disagree or agree that there is a forced doctrine?
Okay. I need you to understand that's why I said there's a difference between opportunity, no,
I'm not talking about
you don't get
opportunity.
it though. That's why it's equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome.
I get
Yeah,
it.
so majority of women on whole
Get it.
could never do the physical labor that men could do. Absolutely. And
Not the physical labor. Listen. Let me try it a different way. The thing is, all of the opportunities you're talking about, the workplace, the jobs or anything you're talking about, all of that is upheld by a system of governance or a system of rights. Do you agree?
yeah.
Okay. Now, what I mean is, I'm talking about the very foundation of these ideas. Rights, any of women's rights, cannot be enforced by women themselves. All of women's rights are enforced by men. Even men's rights are enforced by other men through law enforcement, through military, etc. Do you disagree?
I have no problem with that.
No. I'm not asking
I
if you
think
have a problem with that.
you can extrapolate from that. I meant, yeah, pretty much I agree. Well, you gotta be a little bit more open here, Pratik.
So, I am open. The thing is, you have to understand that being open doesn't mean that I have to agree with you.
No.
Okay?
I mean, you have to understand what I said. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That was me saying pretty much I agree. But you're really contentious on the really small, minute details. It's like, stop. Let's just be cool. We don't have to do this.
I'm not, listen, I'm not contentious. I'm just trying to keep the conversation on track.
Listen,
Okay?
You're not the moderator. So stop trying to fence it where you want it to go. If I have an idea that you don't know where I'm going, stop, you're interrupting me. Wait, let me finish, please. If I have an idea, you don't know where I'm going with it, how could you possibly know it's out of the realm of the conversation if you don't let me reach that goal yet? You were not being cool, and that's not okay.
Okay. So the thing is, even when I said if you're going to argue the water is red, the sky is blue, what I meant by that is, in logic, if you keep pointing out the exceptions, if you keep I
didn't bring up one exception. I didn't say, well, there are women that could do men's jobs. That would have been an exception. I didn't say that.
No. That's not what I mean. If you don't directly respond to what I'm asking you or my argument, if you're not directly responding to that and responding to something I'm not even talking about, that I haven't even posited, then that can go into infinity, and that's not productive. That's what I'm talking about. That can go on for infinity. That's called a false red herring. You're erecting
stop.
false
Oh my God.
That's
just get to the conversation, Pratik. I don't give a poop about any of these.
Okay.
Just talk, okay? Just talk like a regular person. We're having a regular conversation here, okay?
This is I am talking like a regular person. Listen, if you agree with me about the rights being enforced, then how do you figure that there can be any equality?
Okay, assuming when you say, okay, am I allowed to talk yet, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, let me go for a minute. Okay, let me put out a proposition. Let me try to make this simple. So if there's the case that women have to appeal to men to bequeath upon you these rights, then you're not equal to begin with. Do you understand? Even if men had to appeal to, let's say, weak men had to appeal to stronger men to get these rights, get these privileges or entitlements, then they were not equal to begin with. Do you understand?
Okay, so now can I talk? This is what's frustrating is that I answered this part right here early in the conversation, and I don't think you actually understood what I meant. Now you're saying equal, and we're definitely not equal, but I do think we're both we're the same ball cut up into two different parts, right? So this isn't the same as a strong man versus a weak man. This is a woman versus a man. So a man needs a woman for breast milk when he's a baby. A man needs a woman to give her body to birth him into the world. There are a lot. So I understand if men as a collective decided, no, women back in the home, no more rights, they could do that. However, most men don't want that. They have a huge appreciation for the women in their lives, and they don't want to oppress them, so they uphold those rights. Just like there were Native American societies where women were basically the ones in charge of a lot of the things, not because they physically were able to do it, but because they were regarded as important. So I venerate men in my worldview, and I appreciate men in my worldview. They don't want to oppress me. You understand the difference there?
Okay. I understand the difference. Now, let me explain the problem with the problem with your interpretation of my argument. I'm not arguing about any odd claims. What should happen? What should men do? I'm talking about what is. There's a difference between an is
I understand
claim
it. Stop it with
and
the
a not
debate,
claim.
bro. Claim. Stop. Just talk like a regular person.
That's not
Hold on.
debate,
Stop.
bro. That's
Just talk
just
regular, please. Listen.
sense.
No.
That's common
Stop.
sense.
Please, just hear me out real fast. Okay, you said we're not talking about what could be. We're talking about what is. Well, what is equality, right? Is it
Yes.
equality now?
No.
Do women have... Wait, you're saying women don't have equal rights under the law now?
Women only have the rights because men are enforcing those rights.
But I said I'm appreciative of that. That's a nice thing they do that because they probably also understand they're not alone in this world.
I'm not asking if you appreciate. I'm asking if you agree that's true.
I have agreed to this like 3 times now, Partik. You're not either you're being disingenuous on purpose, or you really don't understand my argument.
I'm not being disingenuous. Oh, okay. If you agree, then how do you figure we can be equal? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, I'm going to try to say this again. When you say try to be equal, do you mean in light of men deciding they don't want them to be equal? Is that what you're talking about? How could women be equal? How could women have rights if men aren't willing to stand up for those rights? Is that what you're asking me?
Not stand up. It's enforcement. If they're not willing to enforce those rights, women don't have any rights. Do you understand? Even other men don't have any rights.
I have agreed to this and explained another portion beyond this talking point now, like 4 times. Okay. Men are amazing. They are the builders of society. I am very appreciative of them. It's because of them.
I'm not asking
No. I'm letting you know so you understand where I'm coming from, because you're arguing against something I'm not saying. No, you don't understand that. You don't.
I do. You like men. You appreciate men. You have amazing men in your life.
No, but you're missing a point here. You're missing the point that I'm saying. Yes, so if all men decided, fuck you, we're not going to let you have equal opportunity, sure, they could probably take that right away. Wait, hold on a minute. But they do uphold, you're interrupting me now. They do uphold the rights of women, of equality, because they appreciate women. So therefore, you can have equality when men uphold the freedoms for women to have that. As long as men are good and loving and kind, women can have these freedoms, and that's great.
Okay. Now, what I'm asking is, if you agreed that men have to enforce these rights, what I'm asking is now that why do they need to enforce the same rights as men for women? Why?
Because we're all made in the image of God, and why should men enforce over women needless oppressions?
What?
Why? Why should they enforce over women needless oppressions?
Why is that oppressive? Why is that oppressive?
Okay, so back in the 40s, I wouldn't have been able to go down and get myself a bank account. That's oppressive.
Why is that oppressive?
If you can function, do you have a bank account right now? I do too, and I've had one since I was 18 years old. And do you know how much that has benefited me in my life as I've gone along because I have a bank account, especially because I've had the same one since I was 18.
I lost you.
Which part? If I couldn't have a bank account, that would have exponentially harmed my development in life. That is like, can you hear me?
Okay, I lost you. Yeah, I lost you there for a few seconds. No problem.
Like, why should men be able to have a bank account, but women shouldn't be able to have a bank account? Why should men be able to pursue happiness, but women shouldn't be able to pursue happiness?
Why is your happiness tied to a bank account?
No, the American dream is the right to pursue happiness, right? And hold on a minute. Okay, we'll make it simple, right? We'll make it simple. So why should men be able to have a bank account, but women shouldn't be able to have a bank account?
Now, first of all, I'm going to ask you again that why do you think that women did not have bank accounts back then in the 40s?
What do you mean? Why do I think that?
No. Why did women not have bank accounts in the 40s?
A lot of women weren't able. They weren't allowed to in America.
No. Well, first of all, the thing is, you need to understand there was a reason behind that. Number one, they were allowed to access bank accounts through their husbands, okay? Because they were
That's
not
a problem.
allowed to, by law.
That's a problem.
You can raise the problem later. Let me give you the argument first. The reason why, number one, is because they were not allowed to incur any debt. Even if they got divorced, still, even if they were the ones spending the money on their from their husband's credit lines or bank accounts, they were not held liable for any debt. That was the reason. Now, once women got into the workforce, you might be familiar with basic economics, basic supply and demand. There was a huge labor influx, and that caused that caused the wages to drop down significantly. And even today, if you were about to, if you were about to see any fall in the number of the labor pool, there will be the wages would skyrocket. Do you understand? The thing is, the industrialists who owned these factories, they wanted cheap labor. That was the only reason to push this propaganda through feminism to, first of all, get the women in the workplace. Now, do you understand why they did not have the bank accounts? There was a reason behind that.
It wasn't a good reason, and despite whether or not hold on, Pradeep,
okay.
I let you talk for a good minute. You can let me talk. That's respect. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so it wasn't a good reason. Also, I don't care what reason may have led to women being liberated in the workforce. It's still a good thing that women were liberated in the workforce. You know, throughout time, throughout all kinds of societies, women weren't able to have just any job that they wanted or could achieve. And do you know what that caused a lot of women to have to do? Like, for instance, I was reading about this earlier yesterday in Greece society, if they were divorced or if their husband died, they didn't have a good family structure, a lot of them would be forced into prostitution if they wanted to eat. That's a problem.
Okay, number one, that is not the case.
That is the case. That's the case for a lot of societies throughout time. Yes.
Now, let me talk now. First of all, that is not the truth for the majority of the population. You pointed out to some exception that does not apply to the majority of the population.
Well, hold on a minute. Let me ask you this: if that wasn't the case, if women are limited on the jobs they could get, what do they do when they don't have options? If they're limited on the jobs they could get, what do they do when they don't have options?
First of all, they were always allowed to work in the United States. There was never a time that women did not have any jobs. If they wanted to, they had all sorts of jobs, even before the push of feminism. Or
well, hold
the
on a minute.
late
Severely
1900s.
limited jobs, and a lot of them were very hazardous.
Yes,
well, but they
because
were hazardous to your health, like the women that used to make candles, and their
because they
faces
did
would
not want
no,
to.
they were not encouraged to go to school.
Because
Like nowadays, who runs the majority of like? Well, hold on a
no,
minute.
no,
Office work jobs.
because
Wait,
there
no, no,
were
no.
no,
Pratik, this
there
is.
wasn't any
Hey,
air
stop. This
conditioning.
is really important. Okay.
This
Wait,
is my
well,
turn
no, I'll let
now.
you go. Hold on.
Wasn't it my
We said
turn?
we can have conversations, but you can't bring up a bunch of points in the same sentence, right? We're having a conversation. You could talk in
You
a
keep
minute.
cutting
Hold
it.
on a minute.
No,
Who does the majority of?
you're
No, I'm
derailing.
not. Who does the majority of?
You are
You don't want me to
derailing.
say it. Who does the majority of administrative jobs? HR jobs. These jobs suit very well for women's intellect and
Society would function without
no,
those
they're also
jobs.
socially,
They're
social.
useless.
No, they're, well, maybe in some places,
They're
no,
useless.
like my mother's a paralegal. That's
All
not
places
useless.
useless.
Paralegal work.
Society would go on fine without the
Okay,
HR.
I mistaked. I probably not.
Yeah.
I probably should not have said HR. You're right. A majority of that is bogus. However, there's a lot of administrative work that these women are feeling that are very important. Yes, someone has to do data entries. Someone has to be the lady at the DMV that's puting in the numbers. And women excel at that specific work. Now, I can't find the article, but I remember reading something about how like men typically range on the higher IQ or the lower IQ, whereas the majority of women range in the middle space, right? And that's why you see a lot of women too, I think.
That's
What?
I said that's the bell curve. You're right about
Yeah,
that.
so that's why these women are able to fill these spaces in office jobs. But back in the day, they wouldn't have had the education to achieve that. They had to work really hard to get whatever they wanted because there were all kinds of negative ideals of them. And that's wrong.
No. First
Yes.
of all, no.
Yes.
First of all, no. What are you? You're just basing this on some kind of subjective personal
No,
preferences.
I'm not. I'm basing it on reality.
that-
These are real
Yeah.
things that happen and are happening now.
Yeah, that's you're yes. Real people's subjective preferences.
Wait, hold on a minute. Real people's subjective preferences. What do you mean by that?
Yes. Okay. Well, what I mean by that is that was not it was not wanted by the collective. Even women, more than let me try to remember. Yeah, it was about close to 90 to 95% of women did not want the suffrage. They voted against it.
Yeah, but that
Now,
doesn't
there's
really that
two
doesn't really
reasons.
say anything. Actually,
Let me
it doesn't
complete.
matter what they might have said at the time.
Let me
Oh, go
complete.
ahead.
Let me complete. There were two reasons mainly behind that. First of all, they did not want all these because they understood you can go back and you can read pamphlets from the suffragette side of the women in America. They made really compelling arguments against the suffragettes, the anti-suffragettes, okay? They said, obviously, they could not enforce these rights because they'll have to go into enforcement roles, and they can't do that. So that's the first reason. They did not want any of these responsibilities to begin with. Secondly, there wasn't this modern technology that creates this illusion that maybe women can do the same jobs. There wasn't air conditioning back then. That's the reason why women who wanted to have any jobs on the side did have jobs besides prostitution. Prostitution was not even close to what it is right now because of the technology.
Yeah, no,
you're
hold on a
talking
minute. I will
about.
make the distinction. I'm pointing out that from beginning of like from ancient times till now, women's limitations in life have greatly affected them. For instance, I was bringing up in Greece. That was what they were subjected to have to do. But in other societies still today, that is still what they have to do. But I like how you, wait, hold on a minute. You said because of technologies, right? Right now you're using the because of technologies to help support your point when you were using the because of technologies against my point earlier in the conversation. So technology's progression is good. And if we have a progressed technology that makes it to where women can be more equal, that shouldn't be a point against us just because technology is helping to establish that.
No. I did not say that it's good or bad. What I'm talking about is made possible only because of technology.
And that's great, but we have it. Technology is here, so we have it. So it's not a point against it, right?
Listen, I'm not
because
arguing,
otherwise, wait, hold on a minute. Otherwise, you have to take back your point. Well, women don't have to go into prostitution because technology made it to where they can have these other jobs. Do you see what I mean? How you used it for the good for your purpose now, but before
because of the technology, they're becoming more prostitutes, more and more.
Okay, that's a different conversation, and it's awful. But that's not.
No, it is.
No, it's not. That has no bearing. That has no bearing on what we're talking about right now.
It is.
No,
fair.
It's not.
It is
no,
fair.
It's not.
Technology in itself, it has good points and its bad effects as well.
Okay, so what you want to take? Do you want to get rid of the technology?
No,
okay, so we have to learn how to. So we need to learn how to equip people with the right knowledge to effectively use technology where they won't destroy themselves. Right? That's where we're at in our development as people. It's like, oh, we discovered this new toy. It's destroying us, so we got to quickly learn how to use it.
What I want, if you're asking me personally, from my perspective, I'd want some sort of regulations around technology, or I'd like to see some sort of enforcement of morality around use of technology as well. Do you disagree?
I think porn is disgusting. I would definitely outlaw it.
Okay. Well, seems like you agree with me.
Well, yeah, but again, that has nothing to do with our main conversation, because the people that men uphold a lot of pornography throughout time. They've been the ones that have made it a reason for being. So it's not like against women or like, I don't know. Like I said, that conversation is a whole different topic.
Yeah, I'm not, you introduced whether it's good or not. I was not even talking about if technology is good or bad. So,
no, but you were telling me though that it's only because of technology that women are allowed to now achieve equality.
Yes,
however, you used technology before when I said that women used to have to like go into prostitution. You're like, yes, but because of technology now they don't have to because there were other jobs. Well, you can't use it as a negative and a positive.
The thing you said about prostitution, I responded to that. That's an exception to the rule. That was not the case for the majority of the population.
Well, in Greece it was. That's why I brought up that specific point. But I'm sure. I am sure I can. No. Wait a minute. No, hold on a minute. Let's think this through. If a woman is not allowed or encouraged or helped in any way and actually discouraged from getting a formal education, is discluded from all kinds of jobs, and she lives in an area where there aren't even that many options or they're filled up at the moment, what job is left for her to do?
Okay, first of all...
No man wants her. She's 40 years old. She's barren. What job is left for her to do?
What did I say? Okay, first of all, let me get back to the point. No, that was not the case for most of the population. You were pointing to an exception, and maybe somewhere.
No, I'm showing you a general theme, in all of history.
That's not a general theme. It absolutely is. That is a problem. That's anecdotal.
No, that was.
That's called.
No, it's not, because that. No, I'm not. You're not saying. No. I love the oh yay, debate bro topics, debate bro phrases. Listen. No, listen, you listen to me. Listen. Okay, hold on a minute. A woman throughout history, if she didn't go ahead.
You're creating a false history. Now listen, what I'm saying is we have to stick to at least coherent conversation. We cannot go into la la land.
Okay, I think to you and your hold on, this is important. Stop.
You keep bringing up
you're the one that wants to take my rights away, right? No, hold on a minute. You're the one. Stop. You're the one wanting to take my rights away. I get to tell you why women's suffrage throughout all of time is important. I'm painting.
Did I say?
Did you?
Did you? Did I?
I thought that's what we were arguing for, aren't you? Don't you want to take my rights away?
No.
Okay. So why are we arguing about? Wait, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Weren't you the one that said that women not being able to get a bank account was a good thing?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is it? Which is
That
it,
has-
Pratik? Do you want to limit my ability for a bank account? Do you want to limit my ability to vote? Do you want to limit my ability for a job or go to school?
Again, listen, I'm, listen, Jessica, I'm just going to be honest here. Again, you just keep bringing up this thing about debate, bro. But the thing is, we have to adhere to logic.
Oh my
at
God,
least,
just stop. Talk
because
like a
we
regular
have to
person.
stay
We're
in
over that.
bounds.
Talk like a regular human. We're having a regular conversation. Just move on. Move
That is
on.
regular. That's
Oh my
how
God, you know what the problem with a lot of these debates
That's-
are? You know what infuriates me? Is a lot of them get caught up in
listen.
little stupid weeds.
That's how
No.
rational- That's how
People will
rational
spend like,
human
people will
beings
spend
think.
30 minutes discussing a word that was used when it could have been this word instead of getting to the actual point. So please, let's move on to the regular topic. We're talking, I don't know, what, egalitarianism? Is that what we're talking about? Let's get to it.
Let me talk about the regular topic. The thing is, again, when I said it was a good thing for with the bank accounts, that was an is claim that happened in history. That is, you
Okay. Well, hold on a minute. Okay, so now you don't want to take women's right to own a bank account. Okay.
No.
Do you want to limit right to vote? Okay,
Yes.
so you want to take my right to vote away.
You personally?
Do you want to take women's rights to vote away?
Not only women's rights.
Okay.
Yeah, I think personally, I'd prefer a system that is not universal suffrage.
So, okay, a landowner who's a male, you want him to be able to vote, right?
No, not landowner. I prefer a system with some sort of unpaid service.
Are you a communist? Are you a communist?
No, that's not a communist belief.
Okay. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Do you want to take everyone's right to vote away?
No, listen.
I am listening. Stop. We're having a regular conversation. Stop. Do not tell me I'm asking, Pratik, I'm asking you to clarify. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm hearing something and I'm having you clarify it. You do not ever tell me to listen one more time. I am listening.
Clarify. Yeah, then let me clarify. Let me talk then. You keep ascribing motivation to, you keep talking about something I'm not even talking about.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Let me explain. Let me expand. Let me expand on that.
Please go in the weeds.
Yes. Yeah. I'd go against universal suffrage of any kind. So what I'd prefer is a system of man or woman, anybody, who'd offer a service, an unpaid service for a specific amount of time, let's say 5 or maybe 7 years of unpaid service to the state, then they earn the privilege or the vote, the right to vote. That privilege. It should be a privilege.
Okay, but you would keep that gender neutral then. Okay, well that's good. So I don't know why you're so against egalitarianism.
Well, my problem with egalitarianism, it's you keep missing the
Stop!
point.
Just talk like a regular person. Let's move on. We don't have to get into like what we are or aren't doing. Just talk. We can just talk.
I am talking. My problem with egalitarianism is that it's a flawed idea. It's not possible.
I think it is possible to certain, I don't know. Like, are we just floundering at this point? Because
what's possible is just an illusion.
No, I don't understand that. I think that, I think it's been running pretty well. I mean, yeah, there's problems, but there's always been problems in every society. And I enjoy the freedoms I have, and I think everyone should have freedoms.
First of all, why do you keep conflating that with freedom?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Why do you keep conflating egalitarianism with freedom?
Am I conflating egalitarianism with freedom? Or are you getting really nitpicky with words?
No, I'm not. You're getting into insane territory now.
I'm getting it. Is it lunatic? Is this lunacy?
Lunacy.
Okay. That's the word you guys all like to use. Yeah. You're right. We're lunatics. Wow. Oh, this is unhinged. These are unhinged territories. No one's ever gotten to this territory before, Pratik. This is wild.
Yeah. See where we've gotten as a society, indulging in lunacy. You can look around.
Hey, you know what? I don't know. I think that there's definitely lunacy happening in our society, but I know for a fact there's been lunacy happening in other societies at other times, even in America. Well, no. In America, it's not like it was gravy. There were terrible things that happened in this country. That's why why people fought for freedoms, because they didn't want to be oppressed anymore.
Yeah. No, that's not oppression.
No, there wasn't. Okay, are you telling me the slave trade was not oppression? When they used to force women to sleep with men so they could pop out babies and then immediately sold them. But that's an important. But do you understand that when you allow oppression to happen, that there's no whales anymore? When you give, that's why I'm a conservative, actually. And it's so funny because I get a lot of people. Hold on, stop. You're going to let me talk now. Now, for a lot of conservatives, Pratik, let me talk. Okay, for a lot of conservatives, our notion is limited government, because when government has too much power, they oppress. Okay, I come from a conservative family. We've been conservative for many, many years.
That's liberalism.
No, it's not liberalism. Liberalism wants more government. No, it's not. Liberalism wants, like a universal paycheck, and they want to enforce a standard of rent, or that liberalism wants bigger government. Whoa. What are you laughing about? What?
That's liberalism?
Yeah, liberalism wants a universal type paycheck. They want to enforce how much someone... Are you okay? Are you right? You get it all out there, buddy? Get it out.
What do you think? What do you think the definition of liberalism would be?
Okay, my papa ran as a Republican conservative.
Define liberalism.
I'm going to let you know.
Please define liberalism.
I'm not playing your games, Pratik.
That's not a game. That's how rational people talk.
Okay. The Democrat Party. What? Huh?
Stop running.
What? I'm running.
Please answer.
Give me a laugh again, Pratik. That was enjoyable. Let's laugh again.
Okay. Please define liberalism.
Okay. From what
in your words.
I can define for you what conservatism is. For me, and
no. Please define liberalism.
I will after I tell you what, in my worldview, conservatism has always meant. Okay, for me and libertarianism I don't give a shit what you want to know. You're talking to me, and I'm going to give you. I'm not running.
Stop being a coward.
Okay.
You're being a coward now.
Hey, Pratik, you don't get it. You don't get to just control how I speak. I'm not a puppet. All right. I'm gonna first tell. Hey, Pratik. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm going to first tell you what my view of conservatism is, and then I'm going to give you an idea, and it's probably flawed. I'm not educated, but I do know what conservatism is. No, do you understand? It's not. You're derailing the conversation, because I could have already explained both. I could have explained both by now if you hadn't got us caught up in the weeds. And why do I need to explain what libertarian?
Answer the question. Have I been answering all your questions?
No, you have not.
Concisely?
Okay, so just to get it past this point, because for the love of God, how annoying, I'll give you my uneducated view of what liberalism is. This is an uneducated view.
In
an uneducated view of what it is. Liberals seem to want absolute...
No, that's not what I'm asking, what they want. Define liberalism.
I'm telling you in the way I talk. Can you listen and hear me? Oh, fuck. Now you got me saying listen.
Can you please talk like a
All
talk
right,
like a grown-up.
I am. Don't you
liberalism.
even. You did not earn the right to talk to me like that. Not during this debate. All right, listen.
You did
I'm
not
going
either.
to try
You did
again.
not
I'm
either.
going to try to tell you. I have to put a lot of caveats. I'm a very uneducated woman. Okay, so I'm going to try to tell you from my view of what I think liberalism is. This is what I think it is.
No. That's not what I'm. That's not the question. Okay. First of all, let me ask the question again. I want you to define liberalism in your words. I'm not asking now. This is what I'm not asking. I'm not asking what do liberals want to do, what they've been doing. Okay. I just want you to define liberalism as an ideology in your words, concisely, please.
Hold on 1 minute. I got to plug in my phone.